love Kevin, and I just die laughing because it's hilarious.
Kevin don't give a shit. He don't care.
He does not care.
I give him Kevin Nash updates. From
Yeah,
this
he
podcast
gave me. Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah, I gave you some yesterday.
You gave me some Kevin Nash up, and he said, "What?"
No, he does not. Oh my goodness, he
And
lets
you know
it
what?
fly.
And it's good. But that's exactly, you're talking about like the Cody thing, right?
Yeah, I was telling you about Cody yesterday. What,
I don't think it's so people take that, and it could be his delivery a little bit, but I don't think Kevin has any angst towards Cody. It's just the way he perceives the business.
Yep.
And that's the nobody can
because he's not going on there. He's not saying, "Oh, Cody Rhodes is a terrible wrestler."
Mm-hmm.
He's just saying, "I wish that Cody
had done this,
done this and this to tell the story a little bit different."
Mm-hmm.
The moves in the ring are great. What he's doing for the business is great. But man, maybe try this or this just to make the story feel a little bit different. That's all Kevin's saying. His delivery is just a little bit different.
It can be a little abrasive.
Yeah, abrasive is all this thing. He comes out like a shotgun.
Yeah.
He's going to be our last guest on this show.
Oh my goodness, you guys are going to do numbers. You and Kevin
on
together.
Our final episode is going to be Kevin Nash and Mark, and I'm just going to serve him with popcorn, and I'm just going to watch those two guys light into the business.
This is the end right here.
They're just going to light into the business.
We need to see if I can get him booked.
Oh my goodness! I'm just gonna be in front of the wall just to see y'all talk.
Did you see the episode where his co-host asked him? He goes, it was like a Q&A that he was doing. He's like, "Would you ever go on Undertaker's podcast?" And Kevin's like, "I mean, I don't know." He goes, "I had to fly out there." And it's like, I said, "Y'all are the same exact person." I said, "You and Kevin." And Taker goes, "Yeah, I understand that.
I understand that.
Because I wouldn't fly there either."
I get it. I don't want to drive across town to come do this. If I went for sponsors, I'm glad. And I get to. I don't get to talk to. I get to hang out with my buddies, but
you know what it is? I think it's because being a wrestler, you're on the road. Especially back then, they were on the road like 5 days a week. So driving becomes like a hassle. So I understand your plight.
But okay, thank you. Thank you for understanding. That makes me feel better.
Yeah, you and Kevin.
That was hilarious. And his comebacks are hilarious. He just goes, "Well, when you sell as much as I did, they can talk to me." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, the man sold merchandise. You can't." Hey, his comebacks are amazing.
It's always like, I didn't even have to go in the ring, and I made more money than everybody else.
And you wrote you're like, "Well, you kind of did." Yeah. Okay, well, all right, you got me.
The way he says it is just so like he just doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
He's just sitting back, and he will sit there on his show, and he's like looking out his window, talking about the beach and everything else. Then it's all of a sudden he just like rips into somebody, and he's like, "Oh man, looks like there's a storm coming."
Kevin, I always thought of Kevin like a 7-foot Dennis Miller. I don't know why he always reminded me of Dennis Miller, and it was from the way he held his microphone, with his big old giant hands, and the way he held the microphone to deliver whatever he was saying.
Condescending on everything.
Yes. There's a hint of sarcasm on everything.
Him standing in that ring when that blood comes flying, comes out, it falls beside him. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
And he's just standing there and he looks at that blood and he looks down at Vince Russo and he just shakes his head. And it's just like he's pulling back the curtain right there without even wanting to, really. And he's just like, this is a show if I've ever seen one.
His special expressions are priceless.
Oh my gosh. Him and Razor just as the outsiders.
Man.
That was so fun to watch, those two guys, especially early on.
Yeah, he was one of the first guys that actually he produced my first match ever, Razor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he came down one day to the PC and just saw me. He says, "Who the hell is that big guy? I wish I could wrestle because I want to wrestle him." And he and we got in the ring. He showed me a couple of things, and he's like, and I told him "Hey, I have a match." He goes, "Where?" I'm making Lincoln. He says, "I'll come." I was like, "Wait, what?" Wow. He said, "Yeah, I'll come." Drive up to the show, produced my first ever match.
That's great, man. That's great.
ever match. Like, yeah, like just like you, he used to call me all the time. And you know what's funny about it? Like he would call me and you know, I'll ask him about how you doing, how the kids doing, how Sky doing. He would just come like, hey big fella, how you doing? I'm doing well. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Love you, man. Click, if I can get a word in, click, he's gone. He's gone.
Oh, yeah. Kevin, you know, Razor, he didn't, I don't think he got his flowers enough for how good he was.
He was really
God,
good.
I loved Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, even as Scott Hall.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
he was talented. He was on my my first tour of Japan back in about way back.
Late 90s.
Later, maybe it was not late 90s. Maybe it was not even in the 90s.
Man, don't age yourself, man. You still look young, man.
There's an old school picture of you and him together, too.
Was that us shooting the double birds? Or,
Yeah.
That
That's
was
a
my first
classic.
trip to Japan. Yeah, he could go, man. He was really talented.
Yeah. He had that look, too. I mean, he was just chiseled perfect.
And he was
I mean,
tall, so also.
Yeah, he was
when I saw him, I
6'4",
like, you're
6'5".
6'4".
Yeah.
I'm like, you're a pretty tall dude.
oh, wow. I didn't realize he was
And
that.
even as he aged, he still kept that swagger about himself. Like, it never went away. It was just part of who he was.
Yeah, but that's crazy. He produced your first match. That's,
He produced my first match.
jeez.
And that's insane, like the swagger part where, you know, when he walks in a room, it's almost like, okay, that's the phenom, the dead man's
Oh, no.
walked in.
I remember the first time I met him, it was at the Performance Center. He came, I think it was, they would do a NXT TV taping. And Hunter goes, hey, big fella, I have something for you to meet. He comes out the door, and I thought I saw a ghost. I was like, oh, it's the Undertaker. It is the Undertaker. In my mind, I was like, and I said to myself, you guys are kind of colleagues. Keep your cool. Don't be the mark. You know, don't be a mark. You know, keep your cool. And he goes, oh, big fella. I'm like, oh, he knows who I am. I'm like, oh, the Undertaker knows who I am. Okay. And he gives me a big hug. I'm like, oh. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, Mom, I made it. Oh, one of the greatest recognizes me.
I used to go down there just check out, see who's coming up.
Yep.
See if I had enough juice to wait on them to get.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just like,
Remember that one time you guys came down and I was in the ring and I ripped my pants?
I do remember that. He ripped his
I ripped my pants. I think it was the WrestleMania in New York. And they had come down that week. And we had a PC Live. And everybody was down there training. It was you, Batista, everybody was down there training. And they told me, hey, wear your dress pants. And, you know, I'm a young guy, so I wear like the skinny, you know, pants.
Yeah.
So they go, I go from just standing in the ring to like, you're going to throw like do a move. I'm like, brother, I can't do a move, but this pants is going to rip. They go, no, you'll be fine. I did it. I think it was a line or something, and I threw the line. I just said, and the whole PC is filled with everybody. I can see their faces looking. I'm like, don't sell it. It was rips all the way here. I'm like, you know what? Thank God I didn't free ball that day. I had draws on. My tongue would have been dangling all over the place.
Oh, you just said you ripped it down here, though.
Right, no, all the way here. All the way from inside here, all the way here. Like, my whole ass was out. It was out, but I couldn't sell it because I was performing. I didn't have to keep a straight face.
Oh, man.
performance under pressure, man.
Yes.
That's exactly what that was. Oh,
That is
goodness.
hilarious. Who was your first match with that Razor?
It was, they're not here anymore. It was a tag team. They're over at the other side now, AEW, Daddy Magic, and I forget his other name. But I wrestled them on my first show, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but it was great.